Good day. Welcome. Welcome back to another live from the Norwegian woods. Once again, yes, still in Norway. Yes. I'm your host, Ulf Hockness from whitewolfalchemy.com. And today I was inspired. It's not often I'm inspired by other divine unions. Mostly I'm appalled or just not impressed with what I see, read, hear, feel. But today I was deeply inspired by another divine union channel. And the information that is brought forth when you remove all the new age bullshit and get down to the nitty-gritty mechanics of divine union. It's simple. It's so simple that you should be able to explain it to a child, my mentor Mel Brand once said. And if you're not able to explain it to a child, then you do not understand it well enough. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. It's simple. The attacks, our divine union experienced interference and attacks, and the dark ones did not want us together. Well, the dark energy and the disruption that you experienced in your divine union, it came from within, both of you. And what you are up against is ancestral, cultural, religious, and the recent one, New Age. New Age. Yeah, and I'll get back to that. The ancestral stuff is as simple as your patterns, your programs, your wounding, and the traumas from within your own family bloodline. These are traumas that were passed down energetically. These are traumas that were experienced by you, but also by your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your aunties and uncles, and grandmas and grandpas, and beyond, right? Far up the family tree. And this is what you're up against. It is nothing outside of you that is out to get you. There are no adversary for you to worry about outside of your own unconsciousness. It is your unconscious patterns, programs, belief systems, most importantly, that are the culprits of the dissolution of your divine union. I'll repeat that. Everything that is going wrong in your divine union is coming from within you. your own perception of reality, your own consensus psychosis, which is what reality is, truly, as from a shamanic point of view. Your perception of reality is psychosis. If you're the average man, if you're even if you're coming out of the matrix, you're rich in delusion. And that's all of us. I was rich in delusion myself when I began my awakening process. And in my awakening process, I came to find myself far from awakened. And I found the awakening community to be far from awakened and rich in delusion. That is one of the biggest challenges to a divine union in the spiritual community is the New Age delusions that they've adopted and integrated within their psyche. That includes the archangels, the angels, the ascended masters, the exclusive titles, and your superiority complex, and the spiritual hierarchy, and all of that stuff. It's absolute bullshit. It's inflamed imagination, as my mentor once said, and I love it. Mel Brand, you are sorely fucking missed. I'm sorry, but you're sorely missed, Mel. See you later, Lily Surya. So what you're up against is your own stuff. There's nothing magic to it at all. None. There's no demons. There's no dark entities. There's nothing outside of your own bullshit that you need to work on. So it should be made simple, 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 this mechanics of divine union stuff. And if it's not, then you don't understand it well enough, or you have an inflamed imagination. I love this job. So, somebody's got to tell you people, you got inflamed imaginations. All right? Kermit the Frog is as powerful as Archangel Michael. Once you get down to it. All right? It's the Muppet Show. It's Fraggle on crack. That's what most of the New Age beings, belief systems are. It's PBS on crack. I'm sorry. That's what it is. I'm having fun here. As always, the mechanics of ascension are simple. Simple, simple, simple. It's the endocrine system. It's not some fucking ladder, some Jacob's the Jacob's ladder is the endocrine system. There's no ladder out there that you need to climb. There's no hierarchy. There's nobody you need to answer to, or no boss that you need to fight outside yourself. It's all within you. You are fucking this shit up. You are fucking it up. Both of you. If you're in a divine union and it's going tits up, you are both. All it takes is for one of you to become accountable and say, oh my God, this is my stuff. Then the other one will stop fighting you about trying to make you own up to your shit. But if you're owning up to your shit, oh my God, this is narcissism coming through me from my grandma. Oh my God, this is narcissism coming through me that I took on from my father. Oh my God, this is, cultural programming that I took on from, pedophile rock stars. This is cultural programming that I took on from hypocritical politicians. This is programming that I took on from pedophile religious leaders. This is programming that I took on from mentally ill New Age teachers. You know, that kind of stuff. And if you don't realize that the New Age is full of mental illness, then you have yet to diagnose yourself. Because in your own authenticity process, you will come to realize just how inauthentic 90% of the spiritual community truly is, pulling shit out of their assholes in order to stay relevant, in order to stay unique, in order to stay within the confines of their created spiritual hierarchies. So, you know, most of them are just pulling shit out of their assholes. And if you're authentic, you can smell it. You can smell them. You know, someone comes on talking about the avatar and and ascended beings and masters and opening portals and receiving this and receiving that. All I smell is a dirty fucking diaper and spiritual immaturity. That's all I smell. I smell poop in your pants. That's what I smell. I smell spiritual immaturity and a dirty diaper that needs to be changed. So I don't see your fancy words and fancy spiritual New Age jargons and belief systems as anything but an inflamed imagination and a childish spirituality. That's it. And I know because I once was just like you. And I shed it. I realized, oh my god, I'm full of shit. I gotta delete my website. And I did. 200,000 people had agreed with me in my delusion in 1 year. Now it's been 5 years of authentic information and it's 30,000. That tells you something about the inflammation of the New Age community itself. It's aching. It's like it's like one of those pimples in the forehead. You just want to squeeze it so bad and empty that. If you were to do that with the spiritual community, it'd go for days until it's empty. That's how much inflammation is in these pimples and boils called spiritual teachers in the spiritual community. They're just full of it. Anywho, so that's what you're up against: an inflammation of the mental body, an inflammation of the spiritual body, an inflammation of the emotional body, most of all due to the triggers and due to the traumas in your bloodline. So you think you might be up against some fancy demon or archon or, oh my god, no. It's no fancy name for the thing that you're up against. You're looking at it when you look in the mirror. That's your greatest enemy. You are your own worst enemy. In these divine unions, the divine union itself is its greatest enemy. You don't need outside interference. All you need is someone to poke you a little bit and some of that boil starts pouring out. That's all. The inflammation starts seeping out. Well, they just need to poke you a little bit in the comments section, poke you a little bit in your inbox, poke you a little bit when it comes to your triggers, and boom, you got inflammation all over you. That's what it is. That's what you're up against. And then you're puking the inflammation on one another, blaming one another. Oh, this is you, this is you, this is you. When in all actuality, it's both you. It's within you. You are the reason for your own misery. And if you haven't come to that point yet, you got a lot of work to do still. You are the reason for all your misery, dismay, and bullshit. You are creating it. Go back to the Kybalion. Go back to the 7 Hermetic Principles. And take ownership and accountability of the creation of your holographic reality. And you'll come to find that, oh my God, it's all me. I know. But that sets you free. Realizing that it's all you sets you free, because that means that it's up to you to figure it out. It's up to you to get your shit together. It's up to you to be accountable in your divine union and say, sorry, honey, this is my stuff. This is what I have to work on. And don't even try to point out this shit that your partner has to work on, because that'll just blow up in your face. Because that'll be such a deep emotional trigger that they go straight into unconsciousness. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, you want to talk about my mama? You want to talk about my grandmama? You want to talk about my family when your family? Every time. No matter what you do. You can never offer another, or hold another accountable. You need to work on. It's what you have to be accountable for. So it's coming from within your own bloodline. It's coming from your own perception of reality. It's coming from your own delusions, your own belief systems. It's coming from your own illusions, your own crap. So, nobody to blame. Only ownership. If you want to blame, you'll become a victim. If you want to stay a victim, you'll never be accountable and you'll never mature and get your shit together. You'll never have what you want. Ever. Ever. And someone just like, I do not want to own up to. I am not the reason for it, Ulf. I am not the reason. It's all his fault. It's all her fault. It's all my parents, society. Yeah, it's all of those guys too. But it's within you. It's your creation. It's your life. It's your reality. Boom. The ball lies in your court. How are you going to play this game? Yeah, you got to know the rules. What are the rules? 7 Hermetic Principles. Back to simple mechanics. Always. Right? So the mechanics of ascension is the endocrine system. So that would be part of the divine union mechanics now, wouldn't it? Because we are ascension partners. Right? So what are you telling me, Ulf? That a fully optimal functioning endocrine system is vital to space travel? Vital to the twin flame union? The twin flame journey? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, optimal health is vital to optimal divine union? Yes. Yes, it is. So, yes, optimal functioning endocrine system is vital to your ascension process and your divine union. Absolutely. All right. So that's part of it. We have the mind, we have the body, but then what if the spirit? The Holy Trinity needs to be holistic in order for us to heal these divine unions. So what would the spirit be? It would be the energy. You have to be spiritually accountable for your energy. When you enter this house, oh yeah. When you enter my field, oh yes. Oh yes. So what does that mean, being spiritually accountable for your energy, for your spirit and spiritual energy? It means that if your energy is out of alignment with your divine partner, there's going to be a discharge of energy, and one of you are going to have to leave the room. Then you are not in alignment. It's like thunder and lightning. You know, these supercharged electric clouds in an electric universe, right? Coming together, and because this happens, lightning strikes, you know, and there's a falling out. You were not in alignment in belief system, so there was no harmonious alignment. It was disharmonious, and so and when you have to leave the room, sometimes you have to leave the union entirely, and sometimes the connection ends because of that lack of alignment. You see, so connection to source is eternal, and when you are in your unified field, you are infinitely connected, but the connection is not itself eternal. That's where the twin flame community has misinterpreted due to their beliefs. The connection is not eternal. It can come out of alignment, and there can be such a discharge of energy that the entire energy that is stored within your shared unified field is discharged, removed, and you will never see them again. That happens a lot in the twin flame community. You'll never see them again. Why? Because you will never be in alignment again. Because that discharge of energy completely changed you, completely changed the timelines, completely altered you. The both of you. And so now you are not holding the same frequency anymore. You're not in vibrational alignment. When one of you spiritually mature and the other does not, the same thing can happen. Discharge of energy, and the both of you will never see one another again. Because you matured and the other one did not. That happens with 80% of these divine unions coming together. And I get those numbers from my mentor and from my own clients. I see very, very few are able to get it together through accountability. You know, they have faith that, oh, this is an eternal connection. It will never end. We can bring forth our worst selves for years and years and wreak havoc on one another's vitality and life expectancy without any consequence to our divine union, and boom. That psyop of a belief system and the connection ends. The union goes tits up, belly up. It ends. There's no hope for them to make it back to a shared unified field, because that offer from the universe is no longer on the table. No longer on the table. It's not available to you. It's kaput. Finito finale. And so the energy will come again. The alignment of frequency and vibration will come again behind another name and behind another face, behind another body. Because the twin flame is more about alignment and frequency and vibration and energy than it ever was about a person. It's not a person. It's an energy. It's a consciousness. And that is why a lot of people are experiencing more than one in the multi-dimensional electric universe that they live in. Timelines change. Dimensions change. Realities change. And once you change your perception, you will change your reality. Once you change your belief system, your reality changes. Every time. And when your reality changes, sometimes your timelines, most of the time the timelines change as well, actually. And then boom. It's not the same person anymore. It's the same energy. You will find that same energy in a different person, a different being, a multidimensional human being. So I strongly advise anyone who's in these divine unions to stay away from excessive use of stimulants, plant medicines, alcohol, etc., 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 even medication, especially medications, because they change you on a cellular level. They deplete your body of vital nutrients needed for the endocrine system to function optimally. And when the endocrine system no longer functions optimally, your ascension process is hijacked, fucked with, dysfunctional, etc., etc. So without an optimal functioning endocrine system, your ascension process will be very, 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 very extremely challenging, to the point of almost, you can't get a car to work without its mechanism, without its engine, without its carburetor, without its spark plug, without its wiring, without the gasoline, without the various parts of the machinery, the machine will not work. It's the same for the ascension process. That's why it's called the mechanics of ascension. And most of the mechanics of ascension material that I read out there is absolute cacophony, new age delusional inflammation of the imagination. Not even real. It's simple. It's the endocrine system, endocrine health. That's your mechanics of ascension. If that's all operational and fully functional and optimal working, then you're good. If it's not, you're F-U-C-K-E-D. There's no ascension happening for you. It's not collective. Ascension is a very personal and individual affair. You're either in it to win it, or you're losing the game. There's no gray zones here. None at all. It's very, very on or off. That's how mechanics work. It's either on or off. If you've not turned the ignition on the car, there's no way you're getting any fucking where in that car. And it's the same for the ascension process. It's the same with the endocrine system. If you have a you know, a shoddy endocrine system, let's say thyroid, that's a big one that I see. Everyone's got thyroid issues almost. If you don't fix those thyroid issues, you're not going to ascend. You might have a good time down here and spread a lot of light, but the mechanics from within your physical vessel is not fully operational. Your battle station is not fully operational, my dear Jedi. So we have to, awaken the thyroid and thymus, and the heart center is the most important chakra of all. It's not the third eye. It's the heart center. That's the powerhouse. And you have to heal all that sexual trauma in your sexual chakras, in the three lower ones. All those energetic blockages in the root, in the sacral, and in the solar plexus has to be cleared. And then, as the chakras are functioning optimally, the unified field will be fully operational, and when the unified field is fully operational, then you have something worthwhile going for you. If the unified field is not fully operational, you will once again be fucked. And that's simple. It should be made simple for you to understand and simple for you to perform. Your daily ascension protocol, is simple. It's not hard at all. Well, it is difficult in the sense that you're working with some very, very deeply ingrained stuff and trauma that's hard to heal, hard to feel, hard to process and work through. Absolutely not an easy task in that regard, but it's easy in the way that we have to understand what we're up against. It's easy to comprehend it. And it should be easy to explain and teach, but yeah. Another day in the spiritual community, delusion upon delusion upon delusion in my feed. Just bullshit upon bullshit upon bullshit upon bullshit. Regurgitation of New Age crap. People full of it. And pay no mind to these guides and teachers. Pay no mind to these people selling you some retreat or selling you some program, or I don't even want to be part of the New Age community anymore in that regard. I haven't for years because I do not resonate. I do not resonate with that delusional, fluffy, fantasy-full, inflamed imagination. That's what it is. It's an inflammation of the imagination. Imagining all these beings and superiority and hierarchy, and it's just awful. There's no truth in that at all. It's true to them probably because they're experiencing it through their belief system, So the belief system will produce that reality for them in that regard. So they won't even recognize that they're full of shit until they start asking themselves, am I full of shit? As long as they believe it, what they believe wholeheartedly, that's what they will experience. So they're in an echo chamber with other people experiencing the same delusions. And they don't know that they're in a hall of mirrors full of delusions because they have failed to ask themselves, am I mentally ill? Am I delusional? Or are these beings that I'm channeling real? No, they're fucking not. Most teachers in the New Age community are mentally ill, delusional people that need a real shamanic experience that tells them, oh my God, I've been indoctrinated with crap. But then these fake ass fucking shamans too, they go like, oh, your Archangel Michael is sitting there next to you, holding your hand, wanting you to ascend. You don't need to do a thing, boo boo. You can just relax in your couch and come to one of our retreats, and you'll be exactly where you're meant to be. Because that is my belief system. What the? Hold up. Nope. So that's why you don't find me doing a lot of these collaborations. That's why you don't find me sharing a lot of people's material, because all I read or hear is inflamed imagination, new age bullshit. And I'm not going to support that. I can't support that. It would be like, a mechanic supporting a rubber band cars salesman, you know? We're selling two completely different products. This person is, you know, selling a rubber band go-kart. And this other guy is selling a car with a real fucking engine. It's not the same. So I can't help them either. You can't come to auto shop with a rubber band car and go like, could you please, could you please fix my engine for me? They can do nothing for you until you realize that you got a rubber band car, and it's not a real car. And that's the case with most of these new age people. They don't know that they got a rubber band car, and they want an oil change, and they want some gasoline in their tank and stuff, and they don't even have a tank. They don't have an engine. It's like, oh my, how can I help you again? First of all, we got to help you realize that you've been sold a rubber band car, and you can't even drive on the road, let alone have an ascension process, because you have an inflammation of the imagination. And first we got to address your inflammation of the imagination before we can assist you with any of your mental upgrades or spiritual upgrades or anything. Your perception of reality is not serving you. you know but no, mentally ill, inflamed imagination. 80 to 90% of your spiritual teachers out there, I'm sorry. Good to have you here, Phoenix. So it's got to be really, really simple and grounded. I'm all for grounded spirituality. None of this sainted, ascended master fucking crap. I'm sorry. It's not going to help you. It's like, oh, I want to ascend and I want to do really good with my spiritual practice and my spiritual process, but 90% of my practice is bullshit. 90% of my my spirituality is distraction and inflammation. How in the world are you going to evolve if that is holistically speaking, people, you know, mind, body, and spirit, 80 to 90% inflammation, you're not going anywhere. That's why we got angry yogis teaching yoga, you know? They've not done the work. Yoga is not the work. No, yoga is a tiny, tiny little portion of what is needed, and you can easily chug yoga out and be exemplary and an adept initiate of the spiritual processes. You can throw yoga right out and still be. You can swap it out with martial arts. You can swap it out with qigong. You can, you know, just one of the ways. And Hamsa and veganism, big fucking joke. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Native Americans were killing and harvesting animals and taking lives, and their spiritual traditions are some of the most profound spiritual traditions on the planet. The indigenous ones, I'm saying. And you got to remember that we were also indigenous before we were vilified and distracted with religion and forced to give up our pagan ways. All right? So there's truth and power running in your blood, but you're most likely in denial of it and afraid of it. That's how it is with power. So, you know, and that's also why my material is the way that it is. I'm not going to do this regurgitation of simple spirituality and angel numbers and you know, we have to go beyond all that. We have to let it go. The spiritual sandbox of the new age community is fun and all, and the toys are pretty fucking cool compared to, you know, religion, but still they're toys, and you're gonna have to, if you want to move out of the sandbox and spiritually mature, you're gonna have to let go of those toys. There's no need for them. You don't need malas and beads and yoga. You know, you don't need mantras and um, gods, deities, angels, archangels, ascended masters, crystals even. You need none of that shit. I love crystals. I have plenty of them. I use them all the time, but I don't need them. I don't need any of that shit. It's there, and it's fun. It's a toy, but I don't need it to optimize my spiritual process. No, it's all within me. All of it. So people judging other people because they're, oh, you're still eating meat. Where's the compassion in that? Well, lucidity is more than compassion. It's also fierce and brutal. The warrior spirit. It's feisty. not necessarily always compassionate. You have to know how to break a jaw. Someone comes to try to kill you or your family. What are you going to do? Sit there and hamsa them? Compassionately ask them, please leave? Or are you going to fight like a warrior? Break some bones? The spiritual community. So, what you are up against is all within you. It's ancestral, cultural, religious, new age, um, what have you. Romantic. That's a big one. This fucking twin flame delusion bullshit religion. New age cacophony. Distraction. The twin flame has to come from within, then without. If it's not within, you're going to have a hard time trying to harmonize or align anything at all whatsoever. You may have met them, but you're going to lose them if you don't do the work. If you keep pointing the finger at your significant other, blaming them for everything going wrong, and not owning up to it, not assigning toxicity to your parents and family and bloodline and yourself, you have no hope. No hope to make this work. You might as well give up now. You're going to be tits up within a short amount of time. If you drink a lot of alcohol, it's going to be tits up very soon. If what you prefer to do with your twin flame is party, you're going to be fucked. Plant medicines used extremely sparingly, if at all. And you don't need it. If you're in a true twin flame union, that's plenty psychedelic enough for you. That's plenty shamanic. If you're in a real one, that's mystical union with the divine. You're going to be walking in shamanic experiences and mystical experiences all the time, and you need to do that sober and lucid. If you're intoxicated all the time, you're going to fuck it up. Every time. A little bit? Sure. Medicine? Sure. A little here and there goes a long way. If at all. Alcohol? Never. Never. In slight, maybe 1 unit here. If you want to get punch drunk, you're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it up. If you wanna have a drink with your friends, and act responsibly. If you cannot drink or act responsibly, you're gonna fuck it up. Same with the food. If you eat like shit, all forever chemicals and crap and Burger King, Big Mac, maltodextrin, MSG, all that shit, all the time, you're fucked. Because your endocrine health is the key to your divine union's ascension process. Thank you for watching. If you want to work with me and have some assistance from a real deal divine union, you know where to find me. whitewolfalchemy.com. If you don't, if you want to be deluded and willified and distracted, seek out any one of the other 90% of inauthentic, almost fraudulent twin flame guides and teachers out there. Make it simple. If it's not simple, and if everyone has one, you know they're full of shit. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Have a great summer, midsummer. Enjoy the sun. The sun is medicine. They fucking lied to you.